Hi Moon Babes, and welcome back to another video. If you are returning, thank you so much for the support that you've shown me, especially with me getting reacclimated. I know it's not a real word, but I'm gonna use it right now. Especially with me getting reacclimated to the internet and YouTube. I appreciate the love and the support. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Cheyenne, and today we will be getting into this new moon in Taurus, why I think it's literally the perfect moon and the next 6 months up until the full moon in Taurus to be manifesting. We're going to get into the charts. I have the chart pulled up for that day when the moon will be peaking, and after I give a quick rundown, a quick overview of what else is happening in the skies above us, we will be doing a quick little reading where I just ask Spirit what values we're being called to embody and how we're being asked to embody that. Because a lot of times I feel like in tarot readings, it can be so easy to use it as a predictive form of divination to see like, oh, what's coming for the future, whether that's good or bad. But sometimes it's not even what's coming. It's not about what's coming in the future. It's how we're prepared for that, and how we are being asked to show up, how we're being asked to embody certain things. So without further ado, let's get into the chart. I do have the chart pulled up on my laptop, so I'll be looking down from time to time. I will put a screenshot on the screen somewhere, maybe even covering my face, so that you guys can see what I'm looking at. If you are new to astrology, you might look at this and be like, I don't know what the hell this is. Don't worry, I'm going to be breaking it down in bite-sized pieces. And if you stick around by subscribing and watching more videos, hopefully you can pick up some more astrology knowledge for your tool belt. So before I get into the chart itself, what is a new moon? The new moon is the first of 8 phases of the moon's cycle. The moon is one of the quickest moving astral bodies, meaning that the energy can change quickly. As some of you may know, the moon is closely connected to the tides of bodies of water, and bodies of water in spirituality and literary sciences refer to our emotions. We can also connect the moon's phases to women's menstrual flows. So the new moon, if we are tying that to a woman's menstrual flow, would be, in my opinion, right after she's done menstruating. So when the blood flow is stopped. This is when a new cycle begins. Metaphorically, this is a time for us to be thinking ahead to the future, dreaming big. What do we want to see? What do we want to call in? What do we want to work on? What goals do we want to achieve? What things do we want to manifest? This is the perfect time to sit down and get familiar with what the desires of your heart are. Taurus is a constellation in the sky that rules over the second house in our astrology charts. So aside from pop astrology making Taurus energy known for being stubborn because it's a fixed sign, Taurus energy really asks us, what do we value and how do we embody those values? Because you can say all day long, I value loyalty, but if you're not actually loyal, is that really one of your values? If you say that you value respect, but you can't do something as simple as showing up to some place on time when you said that you were going to be there, do you really value respect? I'm just throwing these out as examples. So when I look at the chart and I see 5 astral bodies in Taurus, 4 astral bodies in Aries, what this says to me right off the bat is that there's going to be some friction between carnal, selfish desires. And I'm not using that word selfish as like a negative, but this desire of, or this feeling of like, I don't know why I'm feeling called or feeling pulled to go in this direction, but I'm committed to this other direction, and I'm feeling a little torn in between the two. So around the time of the new moon, you may be feeling some of that energy of being like torn in between deciding on two really good options about something. Now, whether that manifests in your love life, your career, finances, whatever, that's specific to your birth chart. And as I said before, if you stick around, you'll get more knowledge on astrology so that you can piece this together for yourself, because I'm really big on giving you the tools that you need to help yourself. I never want someone to come on here and be like, oh, Cheyenne knows all this stuff, so I don't have to do any of the heavy lifting. Now, of course, if you're first starting out with astrology, you know, I may be one resource of many resources in your toolbox at this time, but I really want to empower you to take the knowledge that you're learning from this channel and help apply it to your daily life. So aside from that, what else? I see that Lilith will be in Virgo. So your dark feminine urges may be pushing you to clean house a little bit. I don't mean literally cleaning the house, but I do notice that when there's a major lunar transit, I get urges to clean up, to dust, to tidy up, so that I can welcome in the blessings that I'm calling into a space that can support that. I'm a firm believer that you really can't support newness, vitality, life. You can't really support it in a space that's full of chaos, clutter, and confusion. My personal belief. Now let's look at some of the aspects. Let's see what astral bodies are dancing with each other. That's another way I will describe what an aspect is. I'm really trying to figure out like different relatable ways to explain this, because I feel like when I was first learning all of this information, it felt like I was drinking from a fire hose because it was just all this information and all of this heavy, intense vocabulary, and no one was really stopping to explain. And so I had to like pause videos and go Google and do this and do that. And of course, Virgo rising, I couldn't just Google for one source. I had to make sure that this was consistent information amongst 3 to 5 sources. So it took me a while, and even now I still feel like I'm, learning different things, but I feel like I have a better grasp today than I did 6-7 years ago. Okay, so 3 major conjunctions are happening at the time of this new moon. What is a conjunction? A conjunction just means this astral body and this astral body are in the same exact location in a zodiac constellation. In other words, this means like, let's say your mom said you can go play with your friend at your friend's house down the street, but you have to take your little brother. Y'all both have Apple Watches, so she can track your location. She sees when she checks Find My Friends, Find My iPhone, whatever, she can see that you and your brother are at the same exact location in the same house. So in this analogy, the house would be the constellation. You and your brother would be the sun and the moon, the sun and Venus, and the sun and Jupiter. So when we see the sun and the moon in a conjunction, this is a very easy transition. I won't say easy in terms of like there's no hard work or there's no challenges coming up. I just mean that it's a time where energetically and emotionally we may be feeling more aligned, especially if that is happening in our sign. Now, like I said, the moon will be in Taurus, so that means the sun is also in Taurus at this time. The sun and Venus will also be in Taurus at the same time. Venus is one of Taurus's rulers, and it really embodies this sense of luxury, abundance, comfort. This is why Taurus gets the kind of tongue-in-cheek teasing about being lazy. Me personally, I don't find Taurus to be lazy. I just find that Taurus wants to be comfortable. And Taurus likes to make sure that the environment that they're in is going to be comfortable so that they can be comfortable. So during this time, a lot of feminine qualities and characteristics are going to be seen in a lot of people. People are going to be moving a little bit more subtle. People are going to be gravitating and drawn to more subtleties and less aggressive, dominant, and like flashy, like that noise shows of character. We'll also see that the sun is conjunct with Jupiter. Now Jupiter is the planet of expansion, luck, and also abundance. A lot of people look to Jupiter for money talks. So when we see the sun, which rules our ego, or our true inner self, and Jupiter, this planet of expansion, coming together, both being in the sign of Taurus, this is bringing a highlight on our values. So really, I'm sensing and I'm seeing this huge push for our values to be aligned. What do I mean by that? I mean, do our words and our actions match up? Are they congruent? Are they parallel? If they're perpendicular, that's when we're going to start seeing a lot more chaos and confusion. Most of the aspects that I'm seeing are really positive. Sextiles, trines, conjunctions. These are all aspects of astral bodies that bring out the best side of things on both ends. When we start to see oppositions and squares, that means the shadow side or the worst side of these two astral bodies that are in communication are being brought out. So some other aspects we're seeing is the ascendant squaring Saturn. So the ascendant is in, or will be in, Sag. So this Jupiterian energy of like going out, exploring, doing all of the things, gaining higher knowledge, squaring off with Saturn, which is the harsh teacher. So this is where you might be going out that day or going out during, the next couple of days and looking for answers to questions, and you're genuinely curious, you're genuinely seeking this knowledge, but you may be hit in the face or in the ass with some hard lessons. This doesn't mean that you're doing anything bad, wrong, or that you're misaligned from your purpose, your goals, your dreams. None of that. It doesn't mean that at all. It just means that it's the facts of life, because sometimes it is what it is. That's what happens. But that's what I'm seeing overall. And with Miss Ma'am crawling up here trying to, I knew she was going to do this. With her doing that, that lets me know it's time for us to transition, ma'am, to the second part of this reading, second part of this video, which will be the reading. So I'll meet you there. Hello, Moon Babes, and welcome to this portion of today's video. I will be asking Spirit 2 questions, but before we get into those 2 questions, I wanted to briefly explain what I mean when I say the next lunation. So the lunation just refers to whenever the moon is making a major change, like when it's transiting or moving from one phase of its cycle to another phase of its cycle. How I personally like to work with the moon is, and I will get into this a little more in depth in a separate video, but I just wanted to explain and give context for this reading. So I start at the new moon of that zodiac constellation. So we are entering a new moon in Taurus. I will be tracking my progress towards my goals, my dreams, my manifestations, whatever word you want to put on it. I will be tracking my progress from this new moon until the same full moon in Taurus 6 months from now. So at the first quarter moon, I'll be making notes. At the last quarter moon, I'll be making notes. And of course, I am working with other moon phases or lunations in between those 6 months. But the way that I work with the moon, in addition to what I've just explained, is for each zodiac constellation, I try to embody one of the positive values, or I try to make progress in the area that zodiac rules over. So Taurus energy rules over the second house. This is how you make your money, what you value, what you find beautiful, how you go after, how you seek beauty, the things that bring you the most comfort. It is a fixed sign, so these beliefs or these things that you hold near and dear to your heart will be very hard for you to change your perspective on unless you're presented with really, really good information. So with that being said, now that I've explained myself a little bit, let's get into the 2 questions that I will be asking. First, I will be asking, what values are we called to embody during this next moon phase? So what I just explained, the 6 months. And then the second question is, how can we embody that energy? So I will be lighting some Palo Santo. I just cleaned with some Florida water a little bit ago, and I will be giving an invocation. Feel free to call on anyone that you feel comfortable and safe with being present during such an intimate moment. And then we will get into shuffling the cards and answering those questions. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you for being here. I love you. Dear Divine, thank you so much for connecting us on today. Thank you for your sweet Holy Spirit that protects, guides, and loves on us on a consistent. During this reading, I ask that all negative entities and things that mean us harm are kept at bay, that you have protected us with a great black and white orb around us during the time of this reading. I pray that the viewer is receptive and willing to make the changes necessary in their life so that they can live the life of their dreams. I pray that I am a clear channel and vessel so that the messages can reach whoever they need to reach in the best way possible. I pray that my bias is mitigated and that these messages come through exactly as you have deemed them necessary to. With so much love in our hearts, clarity in our minds, and gratitude on our lips, we say thank you. I'll leave this off camera in the corner, but you may see a little smoke throughout the reading. So let's get into the first question. What values are we being called to embody this next moon phase? What values are we being called to embody this next moon phase? How can we embody these values, Spirit? What values are we being called to embody this next moon phase, Spirit? Cow. All right, moon babes. So right off the bat, what I'm getting is this sense of community. As soon as the Star card came out, I got this overwhelming sense that we are being called to embody this value of community. And it's interesting because this is the second time I'm sitting down to record this, and the same message was coming out. I just wasn't able to record it all the way through. I did go back and do like a voice note, but it just didn't feel the same. And I told myself, well, if that message truly was meant to go out, then that exact message will show up when I sit down with my cards again. And here it is, just in different cards already, because I think I'm using different decks. But we do have the Star card. This is Aquarius energy. The Aquarius energy is most known for being weird in pop astrology, but going deeper than that, it's the sense of community, it's the sense of belonging, it's the sense of giving to others, not so that you can receive, but giving because that is the law of the universe of reciprocity, of equal give and take. Clarifying this energy, we have number 11 by the book. And as you can see, there are elephants present on this card. And it looks like a little family. Whether these babes came from her or not, that to me, I'm seeing a little family, which is giving me this other sense of community, collaboration, support. With this being by the book as well, I feel like this is connected to the Hierophant, which is the 5th card of the major arcana in the tarot. It represents Taurus energy. So there's a little bit of a maternal feeling around this as well. We do have the Hanged Man here. The Hanged Man is all about enlightenment. To me, this represents Pisces energy because it's number 12. Pisces is the 12th zodiac. His crown chakra is lit up. It's illuminated because he's connecting to the divine. He's willingly taking a pause so that he can make sure that he's doing things exactly the way Spirit wants him to. So this is what you're being called to do during the next 6 months. Is figure out what it is that Spirit wants you to do that's going to be for the greatest good of those around you in whatever community you're equating this to be relevant for. So whether that's you doing things by the book for your family, you doing things by the book for your friends, or with your friends, or with people at work, or a romantic partner, however this is playing out for you. Let's move on to the next question. How can we embody this value of community in the next moon phase? So first out, we have the 8 of Pentacles and the High Priestess. The High Priestess is giving me more of that energy that I was speaking to over here with the Hanged Man, about being connected to your intuition, tapping in with Spirit and seeing what it is that Spirit would have you best do, like as your next step. And then taking action on that. Taking calculated action with dedication. So for me, 8 of Pentacles and Knight of Swords, 8 of Wands, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but 8 of Wands did fly off to the side. I'll get to that later. Those are all cards of get up and do something. Even though this is the suit of Pentacles, it's not necessarily known for action with vigorous passion. It's more so known for valuing action with dedication, loyalty, commitment behind them. So you are embodying this value of community by, again, leaning on your intuition, but taking action from this place of duty, of honor, of respect, of what's to come next, of respect for yourself, of respect for those around you. We often talk about things starting within, but I'm not really getting that message here. I'm just getting this message of like doing right by other people. And that's not to say that doing right by yourself is wrong. Let's see what else we have here. The Six of Swords in reverse and the Six of Pentacles in reverse. This is interesting that we have 2 6s and 2 8s. Put it so you can see it. Yeah, this is really interesting that we have 2 6s and 2 8s. To me, this is giving not escaping, not running away from things that may be coming up, any emotions that may be coming up as a result of you asking Spirit for more guidance, for more clarity. This is going to be something that you're happy to do in the long run because I'm hearing that scripture, write the vision, make it plain. Because you have this like greater sense of your why, because you spent some time with Spirit, you are able to take action with the dedication, the duty, the honor, all of these things, and you're going to have passion, and that's when you're going to see these rapid results. It's interesting that we have the Six of Pentacles out here because, especially in reverse, because of what I was saying earlier about this idea of equal give and take, of you doing things for the greater good of those around you. Because this card, like if you look at the imagery, it's 2 people receiving, or 1 person truthfully receiving, because I don't even see anything in his hand. I just see this person receiving these coins, and this person is giving. So this is giving, like one of my good Taurus friends used to always say, know your place and earn your spot. So like basically what he's saying with that phrase is know the role that you're playing in a situation, and if you want to be kept around, earn it. Like you have to put in the work. I hope that that's not coming through as harsh, because I don't feel like it's a harsh message. I just feel like it's like a serious talk from a older cousin, like this is what needs to be done next, or this is how you need to be moving so that you can set yourself up for success. Finally, we have all of this energy clarified by why. I feel like this is more so connected to what I was saying with you being tapped in with Spirit, you following your intuition, you asking for guidance, you taking a pause and not doing things so quickly. It's like the difference between urgency and haste. So if you don't know the difference between the two, I'll try and explain it briefly. Urgency is you moving with a purpose. Haste is you moving fast to get nowhere. So by you taking the time out to do this with Spirit, to get the information first, to get the guidance first, to learn the purpose of certain events in your life, or to learn lessons from certain events, traumatic or not, by you taking the time to go through that and to self-reflect and to be introspective, you do a really good service for those outside of you. Now, I know I said earlier I wasn't picking up on like, oh, this message of it starts within first. I mean, we know that to be true. But that was coming through for this part of the message. So I hope that didn't confuse you. But that's what I'm getting for this next 6 months to focus on until the next full moon in Taurus. I will be doing a follow-up video at that full moon, and we can go back and reflect on how things have played out for us. What patterns have we noticed that have come up that we have maybe tweaked, revamped, or gotten rid of altogether? We can go through that as a collective. I would love to do that. I know one of my favorite astrology YouTubers used to do journal prompts for every lunation. And the few times that I did it with her, like following the like step-by-step process, answering the journal questions, reflecting on it again in such and such time. Her name, by the way, is Alina Alive. I'll link her channel to this video. But whenever I've done that, I've noticed I've noticed results, and it's only because I've been tracking what's happening, but also detached from the situation. So just living my life every day, and when things come up where I remember it, I'll spend some time with it, but I'm not doing this in a dogmatic sense. I hope that helps. I don't know why I felt called to share that, but again, that's what I'm seeing for y'all. I hope that this message helped. If it resonated, give it a thumbs up. Leave me some comments giving feedback on the video style. If you have questions, if you just want to connect, I'd love to hear from you. So without further ado, you know where to find me if you need me to book any personal readings. The link is in the description box. I love y'all so much. Ciao.